strong new reaction now in last night's presidential debate and what was not brought up on the big stage. Here is a clip now on the topic of education. Have a listen.
When he tells a student that you should borrow money from your parents to go to college, that indicates the degree to which there may not be as much of a focus on the fact that folks like myself, folks like Michelle, kids who attend University of Denver just don't have that option.
Mr. President, you're entitled as a president to your own airplane and to your own house, but not to your own facts. All right, I'm not going to cut education funding.
One of the zingers from last night, Bill O'Reilly, is anchor of the O'Reilly Factor. Good morning to you, Bill. Thank you for your time.
All right, Hammer. What's going?
Also, you've written the new book, Killing Kennedy, which I'll get to that in a moment because I know you like the way that came out a great deal. What did you think of last night?
Well, if you had any doubt about who won, you switch over to MSNBC, and it was all black. It was like a funeral procession right through there. They were distraught. So then, of course, I switched back to the Fox News channel and got some objective analysis. The problem with President Obama is he came off as a boring college professor. That's how he came off. I was surprised. He's usually much more energetic. He looked tired. And Mitt Romney, he had his facts at his fingertips. He didn't do anything extraordinary, but he was just much more focused. So the contrast between Romney and Obama really put the governor over the top. But I see it as more Obama lost it than Romney won it.
No, that's interesting.
I'll tell you why in a moment.
Okay, now, before the debate started, you were encouraging Romney to be aggressive, to really go for it. And Rove and Morris were saying to you, no, that's not the way to go.
Right, and Romney followed their advice and not mine. And that's where I think he made a mistake. When you're in a prize fight, a boxing match, and that's what a debate is, a verbal boxing match, and you see your opponent tired or weak, you go in and you hammer him. The governor didn't do that. What the governor should have done at the end, when he clearly had won the debate and he knew he had won, was in his closing statement of 2 minutes look into the camera and said, I just want you to know that I feel compelled to improve this nation. We are in trouble here in America. We are in trouble. And everybody should know it. And unfortunately, the president, who may be a good man, has no answers. None. But I do. And I have to turn this around, and with your help, I will. And that's, he didn't do the knockout. He won by a lot on points, but he didn't knock them to the ground.
But I thought his style was probably more to your point, but he did it in a much more subtle way.
Now, he came across as non-threatening, and of course, to me, that's I'm Mr. Threatening, I guess.
I gotcha. Well, that's why you're not on stage. Listen, I want to ask you about this, Bill, because these flash polls come out, and this is really a taste of emotion in the moments after the debate. But CBS found 56% of the people they polled said that their views of Romney have changed for the better. So does last night now put this campaign on a different course?
Oh, yeah, that's certainly true. It does. I mean, this is huge for Romney. I mean, enormous. But the people who change their minds because, on that kind of a shallow situation, I mean, I don't even take them seriously. But the important point is this. Mitt Romney now has re-energized his campaign. His fundraising will increase. It'll make it more difficult for the president to run the propagandist TV ads because people now have seen Romney, and they have seen him tell the president, hey, look, you're not telling the truth about my record. I got 5 boys. That was his best line. I got 5 boys. They say stuff that's not true all the time. They say it over and over. I'm still not going to believe them.
It's like a parent can relate to something like that.
Right, and that was a line that was written for Romney. But that was the best line of the night.
At the end of your first answer, you were saying why Obama lost this.
Yeah,
let's go back to that. But maybe have you thought about why we got this President Obama last night, and not someone that was more aggressive or someone that the left really wanted to go after with Governor Romney?
Well, I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't really know, but it looked to me like Barack Obama was distracted. The fact that he didn't even bring up the governor's gaffe of 47% being slackers, he didn't even bring that up. That was amazing. I kept waiting for it.
And it never happened. But the question is why, Bill? Why
it's impossible to answer that question, Hammer.
I mean, is it possible you're insulated by too few folks telling you the same thing every day?
It's possible that he took a cold medicine. I mean, nobody knows. So I don't even bother speculating in that regard. It was a very big night for the president. He did not bring his A game. That's the fact. That's what happened. And now the campaign changes. You'll see it in the polls. Romney will be ahead now in a bunch of swing states. Nationally, he'll probably go ahead by 1 or 2. But, we got 2 more debates, and believe me when I tell you, Barack Obama is not going to be as flat next time around.
It'll be the biggest headline coming up in 10 days as to how much preparation he's putting into this and what his daily schedule is. Now the book. You like it. Killing Kennedy.
Yes,
why should we read it?
Well, look, I was a freshman in high school when Kennedy was killed, and I remember everything about it, and so does everybody who was alive at that time. And they remember where they were and all the details. And my maternal grandmother, her name was Winifred Kennedy. So I got Kennedys in my family. So it's personal to me. And I just wanted to tell everybody what happened to JFK, how he actually was killed, the events leading up to it, and who he was, both good and bad. And we succeeded. In the first day of release, this Tuesday of this week, Killing Kennedy sold more than 100,000 copies in 24 hours.
That's impressive. What do we learn? What do we learn that's new?
Everything. We had access to the FBI guys who were in Dallas right after the murder. Primarily the guy who was assigned to Marina Oswald. We know everything about Oswald, everything he did from the time he met Marina in Minsk, Russia, to the time he shot the president. All that's new. About Kennedy himself, we had people who were with him in all of the details, that some good, some bad. But the most harrowing part of the book is the death of JFK's baby, Patrick. And that changed his life forever. It changed Kennedy. And I get into that pretty heavily. So it's not just a book about the murder of the president, it's a book about him.
Thank you, Bill. Looking forward to reading it.
Okay, guys. Thanks a lot.
Killing Kennedy, the new book. Bill O'Reilly, thank you for your time. We'll see you later tonight at 8 o'clock in prime time.